by various nicknames such as the Phantom, the Anabolic Outlaw, and just one intense dude, Steve Michalik was born in Brooklyn, New York on January 8, 1949. Anemic as a child, Steve had to receive special iron injections. With a desire to become strong, Steve idolized Captain America. As he later explained it, my original inspiration was Captain America because he was strong and wise and powerful. But since I couldn't become Captain America, I decided to become Mr. America instead, a title he captured in 1972. Following the lead of his older brother, who was already training, Steve started to lift weights at 12 years old. He took to the workouts, and he bulked up to 220 pounds in just 4 years. Steve put this newfound strength to work and won the Mr. Western New York State contest in 1969, the year that he decided to bring an increased intensity to his training. Many witnessed this intensity firsthand when they tried to interrupt his training. In one instance, the bodybuilder Joe DeFrendes came up to Steve in the middle of his bicep workout. In response, Steve threw dumbbells at him, threatened to kill him, and kicked him out of his gym. Later, Steve took the young bodybuilder under his wing and led him through a ball-buster of a workout that resulted with DeFrendes recovering in a hospital bed. His style of training was called intensity insanity, or what he called quantum fitness, because it was based on quantum physics, by using space, time, energy, and matter to create force inside muscle tissue in order to bring about a positive change. His method is similar to Charles Atlas's dynamic tension, which we featured in an earlier video, what we here at Jailhouse Strong call muscle intentionality. Basically, the way he explains it is that you want to get your mind inside the muscle to target the specific fibers. To develop the right mindset, you have to overcome what he refers to as the quote-unquote wall of fire, or the point where the mind wants to quit. Gains come once you get to the other side of that wall. In a bicep workout, for instance, this could look like starting your curls with 15 pounds using good form, constant tension, and contracting the muscle as much as possible. You go to failure, then without a break, you progress to 25 pounds, and you go again until failure, even if you just hit a few reps. Then you move to a higher weight, and you keep going up until you hit a weight where you can't do a single rep. At that point, you go back down to your original weight. If you think that you're done, you're not. Now you go back up and then back down, and you keep going until you can't do a single rep with the weight that you started with. Throughout the process, you don't take any breaks. This method worked for Steve, winning the Mr. USA title in 1971, Mr. America title in 1972, and Mr. Universe in 1975. Then he was able to make one of the greatest comebacks in bodybuilding when a car accident left him paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair for 3 years. Although doctors said that he would never walk again, let alone train, Steve took a lesson from the Taoist monks he witnessed back when he was deployed in Vietnam. With his brother Paulie at his side, he directed positive energy to heal his body, as he explains it. And in 1980, Steve stepped back onto the stage at the IFBB Miami Grand Prix. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was commentating at the event, called him the quote-unquote Phantom bodybuilder because of his incredible story of overcoming obstacles. Although much has been said about his psychological addiction to performance enhancers, perhaps the most important lesson from Steve's life is the power of directed intensity. To fuel this intensity, Steve's diet consisted mainly of meat, fish, eggs, and cheese. Eating 6 meals a day, he only drank water and orange juice, which he would mix with a protein supplement. In 1972, the year that Steve won the Mr. America title, his training was as follows. On the first day, he would start with legs. He would do leg presses 4 sets, going from 450 to 800 pounds, and he would superset that with leg curls, maintaining a constant weight of 125 pounds for 15 reps. Then he would go on to hack squats, 4 sets, moving from 150 to 325, supersetted with leg extensions, a constant weight of 225 for 10 reps. He would finish his legs with full squats, 4 sets going from 205 up to 405. Then on the same day, he would move on to back. Starting with long pulley cable rowing, seated, he would do 6 sets from 150 to 200 pounds. Then on to bent over rowing, 4 sets, 150 to 245. Then seated lat pull downs, 6 sets, 150 up to 275, and finished with bent leg deadlifts, 4 sets, 205 to 400. On the second day, the first body part he'd hit would be chest, and he would start with barbell pullovers. He would maintain a constant weight of 75 pounds for 4 sets of 15 repetitions for a good rib box stretch. Then on to bench press, 6 sets, 205 up to 405. Decline press, 6 sets, 205 up to 345. Incline press, 6 sets, 150 to 300 pounds. Then on to shoulders, starting with a seated press on the machine, 5 sets, 150 to 205. Seated behind the neck press, also on the machine, 5 sets, 125 to 175. Then onto lateral raises with dumbbells, 4 sets, going from 25 pounds to 45 pounds. And then onto shrugs, 4 sets, going from 205 to 300 pounds. The next body part would be triceps, starting with lying triceps curl on the flat bench, 6 sets, 110 to 200 pounds. Then seated tricep curl, 6 sets, 100 to 150 pounds. Then decline triceps curl, 6 sets, 100 to 150 pounds. And then the last body part would be biceps. He would start with a preacher curl, 1 arm, 4 sets, 50 to 75 pounds. Incline curl on a half moon bench, 4 sets, 65 to 85 pounds. Standing curl, 6 sets, a constant weight of 120 pounds, and he would superset that with a preacher curl, a constant weight of 110 pounds. For every workout day, he would hit calves and abdominals. For his calves, he would do 15 sets of about 20 reps, and he would go from 150 to 250 pounds, and he would do these either on a calf machine or on the leg press machine. And then for his abdominals, Steve used an adjustable abdominal board. He would begin with it at the top rung, and he would do 50 to 75 repetitions. Then he immediately lowers the board to the next rung and do 50 to 75 repetitions, and then lower it once more and repeat to 50 to 75 repetitions. He usually does 1 series like this, but sometimes he would do 2. He completes his abdominal work by supersetting hanging leg raises with side bends with light dumbbells, and he would do with the light dumbbells about 4 supersets of 15 to 20 repetitions. It should be noted that with Steve's training, he does every repetition strictly, and he concentrates on getting a full contraction and a full extension. For more of these old stories, this history of physical culture, click subscribe.